All right, and welcome back to Worlds Talk with One Park and
Lumen.
yep. And so it was day 3 of the 2015 League of Legends World Championships, and definitely at least 6 games were played today.
At least six. Maybe more, maybe less. But I mean, well, if you say at least six, then it has to be at least six.
Yep. So you want to jump straight into the fray, where
Yeah, yeah, let's just jump into the Clash of the Titans. Ever Gaming versus SK Telecom.
okie dokie. To me, this one has to be expected. I expected SKT to roll them over, and they rolled them over.
Yeah, this game was completely one-sided. To Ever Gaming was fumbling around the map, looked like they didn't know what they were doing or anything, and then of course you had Marin versus the world again. This time on Renekton instead of Fiora, but my God, Marin is really playing well this tournament.
Went off, got a solo kill as Renekton onto the Darius. I really haven't seen any Darius do really exceptional for any team so far, but it's got to work sometime apparently.
Yeah, the amount of times that teams keep on picking it is bound to at least get one win, but Jesus Christ, like if Marin keeps playing like this, I don't think Bingy, our Faker, our Bang, our Wolf ever have to step up. It's basically just Team Marin right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Faker not too shabby on his rise, Bang really well with Sivir. Uh,
Yeah,
we saw Jarvan come back for EDG. That was a pretty odd pick. I guess they really wanted to engage upon this team, which really SKT has a team comp that does not mind being engaged upon. Also,
right. They both just run at you team. Sivir Braum for SKT, Callista Annie for EDG. This was shaping up to be a bloodbath at Champ Select because both teams were just full engaged, just full go, go, go. And it just turned out to be extremely one-sided.
that and no surprises there. So I guess we can jump to the next game, which was H2K versus the Bangkok Titans, and the first time we've seen Mordekaiser come through picking bans.
Yes, I really hope Riot addresses the Juggernaut bottom issue. But Hjarnan basically showed us why Mordekaiser is such a strong pick and why he has been permabanned except this one game. This is the first game he got through, and you can see why no one allows Mordekaiser to get through.
Even then, through it all, there was a shaky bit of where BKT actually stood a chance because H2K was fumbling within some finishing out and closing out fights. Overall, they took it over. The stronger team won, and I can't remember which caster said it. H2K picked an entire melee team. They shouldn't be able to siege towers that greatly. They depended on Elise, human form, and Dragon. That was their only range, and they still just
Well, with the sustain that a Mordekaiser Alistar brings, like you're never gonna push them out of lane anyway. So even if they couldn't siege, they could stay there until you literally could not stay there anymore.
yeah.
Especially when you have a Mordekaiser picking up a relic shield first, and then you have the Alistar picking up the coin, ancient coin. Is no reason. And then Hjarnan and Kassim, well, HK as a whole, they played the game really well. They saw the lane swap coming. So Mordekaiser Alistar versus Vayne Thresh top. If if they didn't see the lane swap coming, if they didn't call BKT's lane swap, this might have been a different game. But like you said, the better team won in this one. Not to be expected. To be expected.
Yeah. Oh, I think we both gave it H2K yesterday, and that's who won it. Stronger team won. We can go on to the next game, which was LGD. And versus KT Rolster, which we were hoping was going to be a more entertaining game, and Imp did not show up at all.
Yes, this was another extremely one-sided game. I did give it to KT Roaster, and I believe you gave it to LGD, but LGD is looking out of form. Like I said last guys, LGD relies on Imp way too much. If Imp does not get going, no, that team is doomed. No one's getting going on that team. And if you shut down Imp, you basically shut down the entire LGD squad. It seems like they don't have anything else to fall back on.
Godv on his Varus pick. There's Elise, there's Thresh, Hecarim. to finish out LGD's roster, but KT Rolster has a dive comp. They were entirely all about getting to the Varus and the Sivir, and they had Lulu to help buff somebody, speed somebody up, and they had Malphite, Gragas, and Braum to do that. They had the
Right.
team to do it. I really feel like LGD lost this when they drafted their teams.
Right. In addition, everyone on KT has a slow. Malphite Q, Gragas Q, Lulu Q, Kog'Maw, E, Braum Q, Braum. It's just
Yeah,
ridiculous. The CC that KT Roaster brought, it was just overwhelming. Like you said, they had a dive
exactly.
comp, and no one on the LGD could contend with that. I would have liked to see Plive play like a Morgana into this type of comp. You have like the Sivir Morgana, two spell shields, easy disengage. You have the
Yeah,
Varus, but like you said, this was a game that should have been more interesting than it was, and I feel like LGD. In addition to losing in Champ Select, they lost when they don't have anything to fall back on. If Imp's not doing well, LGD's not doing well.
and it's a shame because Godv really is a strong mid laner. He just has not shown it.
No,
And
not
then
at all.
I don't agree with the Hecarim pick at all because he's not. He wasn't really there to protect anybody. All you had was Elise and Thresh to body block, and no, I really feel like anything other than Thresh would have been good here because Kog'Maw got going way too soon. Was able to beat out the Sivir way before Kog'Maw should even be relevant, and it just went on from there. Arrow played great. I think there's nothing else to say other than LGD is League's greatest disappointment right now.
That is right. LGD leads greatest disappointment.
Thank you, guy off Reddit, Mizuhashi Parsi. All right. The next game is Origin versus TSM, and I believe fate sided with me today when Origin beat TSM.
Yes, yes. This is like I said, a worrying trend for TSM. They just do not look like the TSM that everyone knows. They are fumbling around the map. They aren't showing up at all these last two games.
Exactly.
What has TSM been doing these past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even boot camping? Because it does not look like they've been doing anything.
Yeah, you got. Whereas Dyrus didn't do as badly today as he did, I really feel like who really didn't do good was a combination of Santorin and Lustboy. Vision severely lacking this game. Lustboy, he took some opportunity. Like he was out a lot without ult on Alistar, would get blown up, and nobody could really follow him through on stuff. They were just way behind, and it just really was an all-around domination on the map. Like Xpeke, his Anivia, super relevant. Santorin tried to gank a few times. They even tried to three-man gank Xpeke a few times on the Anivia, and he was able to even do that. There was a lot of focus to try and get Bjergsen going after he got first blood, Bjergsen on Victor. They weren't able to translate that to any much more because they're like you said, TSM's not playing to form. Bjergsen, once he's not ahead, I think his shot calling shows that when they're fumbling, he can't level-headedly decide something. Wild Turtle, one kill, that's it. There was 3 kills TSM got, and there's not much else to say.
And also, you have Darius on a carry champion again. I kind of like the trend that TSM's doing. They're putting Darius in a position to carry, but so far, if you don't have the support of like Santorin or Lustboy, even it just doesn't work. I would like to see Darius return to like maybe a tank champion to try to support like Bjergsen and Wild Turtle or the other two carries. And also, I don't know what it is about Lustboy, but he has been playing pretty poorly. To be a
Yeah,
top tier support, his warding has been off, his roaming has been off. Is I I don't know what's going on with TSM, but I hope they can get it together and not go 0-6. As, on another offshoot, TSM is the only Western team right now to not have a win. Origin has a win. CLG is 2-0. Fanatics, well, we'll talk about Fnatic and Cloud9 later, but it's a worrying trend for TSM fans out there.
now it's come down to can TSM beat LGD when LGD's not in form, TSM's not in form. Somebody's gonna have to wake up that game, and I really thought, well, now it really does open up your eyes that Origin might actually make it past groups. It might be KT Rolster and Origin getting through now.
right? Especially after Origin beats TSM and it's Origin. They're just looking really good. They're tied with KT Roaster right now at 2-0. The bottom half of Group D both have 2 losses.
Yep. Well, I guess we can come into my favorite game of the day, C9. Not just pulling out an ace card once. They didn't have to do that. They beat Invictus Gaming.
Handily beat.
Exactly. And Invictus was the favorite to win this group, and Cloud9 beats it. They lost to the both Western teams, as you say it, one day after the other.
Yes. I don't know what to say about this. Like you said, Invictus Gaming was the favorite to win this Group B, but oh my God, Cloud9. I don't know what have y'all been taking. I don't know what sensu beans y'all took on y'all's y'all's backpacking boot camp, but give me some of whatever you guys took. Cloud9 they have been playing really, really well.
Their team fighting really shows.
Yes,
Sneaky
yeah.
and Incarnation's persistent damage, they really, really showed up. Sneaky and Incarnation have done nothing but show up so far this tournament, and I'm
Exactly.
really happy.
It's the Sneaky Incarnation show. Once again, you have you had Incarnation on Azir like peeling for Sneaky's Tristana, and Tristana was barely touched during these team fights. And I don't know. The only downside about C9 right now is balls. Like he has not been playing up to form. But when you have Incarnation and Sneaky stepping up like they are, it does not matter. You can basically not even have a top laner, and C9 will still.
I feel like even though he didn't really perform that great, same score as high on Elise, he's been one of the better Darius performances we've seen,
Yes, and
and he really shows.
one of the few Darius wins, but not to discredit balls, but he helps his team out a lot. And last game he was on Gangplank, like even though he was losing lane, he had that global pressure, and a winning team with Darius on it. It doesn't matter. Like Darius is going to be relevant, especially if your team is winning. It's just that who's going to take up the slack until Darius gets going, and my God, C9 has been on form today. You have Elimination hitting Qs. I don't like I said, whatever sensu bean they took, I want one.
They've always been really good at team fighting, and maybe now that they're not always behind or they're even, they're good. I think there was overall one team fight that really went IG's way. I think it was when Bard hit a good ult. Well, no, I think every major team fight either ended up with one living on either side, and that the game stalled out a lot because there were 3 team fights for only one person until eventually C9 finally stomped through.
Well, and also the thing about it is, even though a lot of the team fights ended with one surviving person on either side, C9 just had better map pressure this game. They took 9 towers to Invictus 3. They took objectives. They just played the map way better.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we can move on to the final game of the day, which was AHQ triumphing over Fnatic.
What an upset this game
An
was.
upset that went on.
Yes.
It really was anybody's game. Like, Fnatic was ahead, AHQ was catching up. It was a really close game.
It was really close, and can we just talk about Ann and his Jinx positioning? In addition to Ann, can we talk about Alvis and his Tom Kench and his ability to save Ann? Can we talk about Westdoor diving the
Westdoor's
back line?
fizz. Disgusting.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Ziv's Nard? Just everything was clicking for AHQ. They were losing the early game, and then the Fnatic. I don't know what happened to Fnatic. It seems like Fnatic just went into let's tour around with them, and then they panicked. It was like, oh shit, like we need to actually finish this. They had like 3 team fights back to back to back, and Fnatic lost all of them.
Yeah. It really came down to Reignover engaged a lot as Olaf and would pretty much get taken out. He would deal a little bit of damage to the Jinx, but he would die before then, like Westdoor, Tom Kench, keeping him down. And then Fabevan had to use a lot of defensive ults. Like, I think I only saw 1 or 2 aggressive ults. He really had to do it defensively a lot, which, I mean, that's what Oriana's there for, but it really kept them down. Huni really first half of that game, he played way too aggressive, and it really paid the price. And
Hooney,
Hooney does this. Hooney does this, and he has his games where he goes really aggressive, and it doesn't always work out for him.
Hooney also, in some fights, he just simply did not even show up to a fight.
Yeah,
It
there
would
was
be
one. Yeah,
and also even though Fnatic handling on this game, you have Forbidden was trying his damnedest to stay in this game. He had 404 CS to Westdoor's 264. Forbidden was literally 100 CS over his lane opponent at one point. But Westdoor kept on leaving his lane because he was losing lane pretty hard. He kept on leaving his lane, going to the side lanes, trying to get a kill, trying to get a kill, trying to get a kill until it paid off. And it's just Fnatic. I kind of want to say they lost this in the classic Fnatic way. They got too cocky.
and they drug it out. I mean, really looking at this comp, they have the AHQ have the better late game team. You got the Fizz, who's just instantly going to blow up that Sivir, regardless if he lands his ult or not. And Jinx just in the, like you said, and in the back line playing it perfectly. Albus on the Tom Kench just playing the protect the Jinx. And he even then he got to be aggressive because at a certain point during the team fights, and really, really safe.
Yes.
And Reignover's Olaf couldn't get to him in time. Through all the shields and all the speed ups, the Olaf didn't work. The Olaf pick didn't work this time.
No, not this time.
They played
man.
a really aggressive comp, and that over aggressiveness cost them a lot because Reignar would instantly get blown up. Darius, like you said, if he showed up, not doing anything. Yellow Star had to ult defensively also, like once or twice, and his flash engages, they had enough survivability.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just like I said, Fnatic. It just seems like Fnatic got way too cocky.
Yeah. It seems like they thought they had this one in the bag.
Exactly.
Well, you want to make predictions for the last day of weeks 1 of groups?
Yes. Well, of course, we have tomorrow Team Solo Mid facing off against LGD Gaming as the first match of the last week. Well, the first match of the last day of the first week of groups. There we go. This is a match of two teams who are not playing to form. This is literally whoever shows up is going to take this game.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't know, unless Loco Dookie really is giving TSM some sort of pep talk. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe LGD can just look at who they have and realize who they are and step up, but I think it's going to be hard to make a prediction here. I'm just going to go against the legacy team, like who's got the better players all around. I'm just going to give it to LGD, but like you said, it's really whoever eats their box of Wheaties in the morning.
Exactly. This is the bottom half of Group D. This is determining third and fourth place because right now LGD and TSM are both tied for third, and KT Roast and Origin are both tied for first. But it's literally one team's going to go 1-2, the other team's going to go 0-3. Whoever goes 0-3 might as well just give up their hopes for ever making it out of groups.
Go ahead.
If I had to give it to someone though, I really, really, really want to give it to Team Solo, man. I really hope these past two games have taught them something, and they need to step it up. They're playing the weakest team so far, according to just standings of their group now. And is Team Solo Man going to show up and show out, or are they just going to continue to stay in this funk they're in?
So you're going TSM, I'm going LGD. So, okay. Next game we have KT Rolster versus Origin.
Now, this is a game to watch. This is literally going to determine first and second. KT Roaster Origin, both 2-0. And one's going to go 2-1, the other's going to go 3-0. And it just be that almost guaranteed to make it out of groups of one of these teams. One of these teams is almost guaranteed to make it out of groups. Going off just strength of teams alone, I'm going to have to give this to KT Roaster.
Yeah, I'm also... Origin, I think if anybody's going to take down KT Rolster in groups, it might be Origin. Origin's playing really strong, and I really think it's not a one-sided. I hope it's not one-sided. I just still feel like KT Rolster's the stronger team.
Yes, it's I don't know. Maybe we'll see Spec and Soas and company pull out something amazing, but they
Huh.
really have been showing up. But this might be their actual true first test because the LGD game they they won barely off. They won at a goal deficit off of a Soas backdoor
Yeah.
and Team Solo Mid. They basically ran over Team Solo Mid. So this might actually be their true test. And just scraping by LGD is not going to cut it against KT Roaster.
No. So we're both going KT. So we got Invictus Gaming and AHQ.
Now, this is the bottom half of Group B. Invictus Gaming is 0-2, and that's saying a lot for this team, like we said multiple times, was the favorites to win Group B. And I don't know. AHQ, they won against Fnatic. If they show up like they did against Fnatic, I might have to give this one to AHQ. Invictus Gaming just not has showed me anything in this tournament.
See, this is where it's getting hard. Because I really do think at some point Invictus is going to have to step it up. Because you're not the favorites you're not the favorites for no reason. And they really have a good team, and I do not know what's going on. Maybe it's being at this level of play, they're scared, and AHQ really showed up. AHQ played a really good game against Fnatic and won a late game fight and won the game off that. So maybe if they can get Invictus going that far, because AHQ's known to get steamrolled, like they got steamrolled over C9, and it's really both these teams are used to getting steamrolled over. So who knows? I still think I'm going to give it to Invictus.
So we're split on that one too.
Yeah, I think they're going to wake up. And then a really cool match to watch tomorrow.
Game of the
C9
week.
versus Fnatic.
Game of the week number one here. There's actually two games of the week, and this is the first one.
Of the century.
C9 versus Fnatic, the top two in Group B.
Exactly, and really, like, regional favorites.
Yes, you have NA's seventh place versus EU's first place.
It, but with the way C9's been showing up, and Fnatic today losing a late game fight, maybe there was maybe it was like the game the other day. It was just a bad late game, like who was it? The backdoor LGD. They just had a bad late game call. Maybe that's what lost Fnatic the game. A bad late game team fight. But so far, as for shot calling, C9's looking really, really strong.
Yes, they are. If Incarnation and Sneaky continue to play at the level they're playing at,
Yeah.
I will be hard pressed to think that they would lose this game. So I'm gonna give this game to C9.
I really feel like Sneaky's a stronger ADC. It's really split down there. Huni, probably a better top laner.
No, there's no doubt about it. Huni
Yeah.
is a better top laner than Balls.
Reignover has questionable decisions. High has questionable decisions as a jungler, so could go either way. Forbidden, way more dominant
Then
than Lane.
Incarnation.
Yeah, but Incarnation's been showing up. I guess
Yes.
Sneaky wins his, Yellow Star wins his, so maybe there's some sort of edge individually, but team-wise, well, they both are really great. I want to give it to C9 just because I'm believing in the C9 dream. They need to keep this momentum going and keep going, because if they go 3-0, for everyone that predicted them to be 0-6, that pretty much almost guarantees them. If they can if they can get one more repeat win, they'll be golden.
Yes, if they go 4-0, they're getting out of groups.
Yeah.
But here we go. Here's the first step to that. They got to beat Fnatic. If they can beat Fnatic, they're getting out of groups. Because the way they handle AHQ and Invictus, I don't think that AHQ or Invictus can beat them can beat Cloud9 at this point. So if Cloud9 can beat Fnatic, they might go 6-0 out of groups.
Maybe if they can keep the steam rolling. So,
And
both going C9.
next up, we have the game of the week Number two, Coup Tigers
3.
versus Counter Logic Gaming.
This is going to show you who's probably going to be top. This is probably first and second place you're looking at. Well, what people were
Yes,
expecting Coup, unless Flash Wolves keeps showing up. CLG's been on really good roll. Doublelift, Aframo showing really well how they are. Zion stumbling in the first game, but coming back in the second game. Coup Tigers to lose to the Flash Wolves after their really sloppy game. Flash Wolves played really sloppily the first day, and then for them to come back and beat Coup, that might have something to say about Coup. Maybe they really they knew they were going to beat Pain. Maybe they really they underestimated the Flash Wolves, and I know with all the hype, I hope they don't underestimate CLG.
exactly. This should be a really good game to watch. Like you said, you have CLG, who's they've been playing well, but they still have a myriad of problems. And then also you have Coup Tigers, like you said, who tend to underestimate their opponents. So it's basically who can finish out the game at this point. I expect this game to be a bloodbath, honestly.
I do
Uh,
too.
I expect both of these teams to go at each other. Um, but that being said, the stronger team right now is Counter Logic Gaming, so I'm gonna have to give it to CLG.
I mean, I've never been one to cheer for CLG, but hashtag Faith Age. I mean, there you go.
All right, so I
We're
guess
both predicting it's going to be a fun game. And
ooh,
then to finish up the day, Flash Wolves coming off a win against the Coup Tigers, got to be feeling good. Versus Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming's kind of showed up some, but Flash Wolves have shown up even better. I'm going to give it to the Flash Wolves.
yes, I'm gonna give it to the Flash Wolves too. You have, especially if they play NL again. You have Stake, who's been showing that he can do more than just lose top lane. You have Karsa, like who if Karsa gets his Nidalee, it's game over. Maple, you have Maple versus Kami, and NL versus BRTT, and Sword Art versus Diode. But I'm gonna have to give this one to Flash Wolves as well. It just seems like they're a stronger team. They have better team synergy right now, and it seems like Pain just really did not show up to this tournament to play.
Especially if Stake and Sword Art continue how well they've been playing.
Yes.
It's easily going to go in their favor. Well, that's our predictions for tomorrow. We'll see you back for the end of week 1. And then maybe something else before the next week starts. Who knows? I mean, you'll know eventually if you're looking at this like a year later, but or maybe you won't even know there might be anything because you might not be listening till the end of the episodes, John. But this has been One Park,
And this has been Lumen.
and our sponsor today is brought to you by Uber Test, testosterone boost for men. It makes you pee green.
This has been Worlds Talk.
Woo! Pea green.
La 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 la.
All right. Okay.
Gotta get my voice ready.
3.